Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Amplified Nevada Native Youth. I'm your host, Avery White, and I'm glad to be here with you all tonight. And I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to last week's episode. So last week we hosted TMCC and their Applied Technologies program. And so we learned about their welding, their drafting programs, anything that is a little bit more technical. So feel free to check out that video if you have time, share it with anybody you think would be interested in the TMCC's Applied Technologies. And like we always say too, there's no age limit to going back to school or getting an education. So feel free to check out that video and let us know what you think too. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Carlos from that video too. And once again, thank you all for coming out tonight. We have a great show ahead of you. We're featuring Great Basin College tonight. And we have a few guests who are going to present on the college and tell us what the school offers for students. And so before we get into everything else tonight, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Dina Romero. So Dina, take it away with your intro.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Thursday night, and excited to hear all about GBC and all the things that they have to offer. Dina Romero with the Nevada Department of Education. And back to you, Avery.
Cool. Thank you, Dina. And so, like I said, we have two amazing guests from GBC tonight. And their names are Jonica Gonzalez and Mindy Kasky. So Mindy, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit first and tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, tribal affiliations, and yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. Welcome, everybody. My name is Mindy Kasky, and I am a member of the Tomoke Band of Western Shoshone here in Elko, Nevada. I currently have been working at Great Basin College for going on 24 years, all of those years in the financial aid office. And I earned my Associates of Applied Science in Office Administration, Computer Office Technology from GBC in 1997, while I was the sole provider for my children, and then trying to get them through high school. And then I continued my education after 1997 onwards to 2020, where I earned my Bachelor's of Applied Science and Management Technology from Great Basin College. So my motto is always, you're never too old to learn, and never give up on your dreams. So at Great Basin College, while working, I was taking 1, 2, 3 classes a semester. So so I finally earned my degree. But I live here in Elko, Nevada. I've lived here most of my life. And thank you, Avery, for inviting us to present or showcase Great Basin College.
Cool, no problem. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what the college has to offer. Jonica Gonzalez, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us about where you're from too. Maybe one of your favorite things about GBC.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm Jonica Gonzalez. I'm born and raised in Nevada. I graduated from Battle Mountain High School. I ended up coming to GBC and getting my teaching degree. So I taught high school for 2 years, and I am now the CTE advisor here at GBC. So CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. So my favorite part of working at GBC is I get to help students who always never thought it might be possible to go to college. So I deal with a lot of students who thought college wasn't for them, and it's really exciting to see how that changes their perspective. And I also, part of my job is helping students get a job after they graduate. So really helping students find a job that will support them and possibly their family is very exciting and rewarding. Thank you, Avery, for having us.
Cool, no problem. Yeah, I'm excited. So we've hosted, like I said earlier, we've hosted a ton of colleges, and I think GBC is one of our final schools in Nevada. So we're excited to hear what GBC has to offer. And I understand, so you all have a presentation for us, so we'll let you get settled and ready to go. And yeah, we're excited to hear what GBC has to offer. And we'll start off with Mindy. So Mindy, take it away.
Okay. Alrighty, so this is our main GBC website. So it's www.gbcnv.edu. This is a place where you're going to come to register for classes, log on to our My GBC portal. Web Campus up there on top there is where you're going to log into the online courses for GBC. So GBC services Northern Nevada, and we have 5 in the following communities. We have Battle Mountain, Elko, Ely, Pahrump, and Winnemucca. And we also have branch campuses there where students can walk in and get one-on-one assistance there if they live within those communities. So there's a GBC center there for students to get help if they need it. And then as you can see, we're a pioneer in distant education. We offer certificates, associates, and bachelor's degrees that students can work towards online in the comfort of their own home. So that's really nice. Due to COVID, we do offer some classes on campus, like the career and technical education, nursing, radiology courses that require hands-on or clinicals. So there was a spring 2021 enrollment summary that shows that GBC has 8,254 students taking online courses nationwide. So we do a lot of, students can earn their degrees online, like I said, in the comfort of their own homes. So next. So here is a picture of our Great Basin College campus here in Elko, Nevada. So we have in the background there is our electrical systems where the students will take classes, or the math and English placement test, and Jonica is also located in that building. But this is just a picture of our campus, our Elko campus. Thought I'd share that so you could kind of get an idea of what it looks like, our campus looks like. And so for those students that don't know where Elko is, we're in northeastern Nevada. We're right there, up there in the corner. We're about 229 miles west of Salt Lake City, or east of Salt Lake City, and then around 289 miles from Reno, and we're on Interstate 80. So Interstate 80 runs right through Elko there. And then there's just another picture of Elko there. So that's where we're located, northeastern Nevada. So, and I introduced myself, and the other hat that I wear is that I'm the Native American liaison. And so I kind of help students, within our tribal communities, inside and outside GBC communities. So next. So as the GBC Native American liaison, in the communities that we serve, I try to foster respectful and mutual relationships with the various Native American tribes and the higher education offices, prospective and current students, parents, the communities within the GBC areas. And I can't do this alone, so we have an outreach program where the Western Shoshone educational consultants from Nevada Gold Mines, we partnership with them, and I usually kind of travel around within the GBC service area, servicing the different tribal communities. Of course, we're in rural areas, so one of the barriers for those tribal communities is being able to get the assistance that they need. So partnership with Nevada Gold Mines consultants, we provide preparation for high school seniors or interested individuals that want to pursue higher education. We travel to the different Western Shoshone tribal communities, and we do one-on-one assist students and parents one-on-one with the admissions and scholarship info and opportunities. We also do FAFSA nights and scholarship workshops on campus at GBC. Nevada Gold Mine provides the transportation for students to come to GBC, where we will do, various things. We'll do resumes, scholarship workshops, those types of things, and they provide the transportation and lunches for those students. So that's a good partnership, and getting them onto campus and getting familiar with GBC. So, and the two educational consultants that I work with through Nevada Gold Mines are Lucy Pito. She is from the Kanatsi tribe in Alaska, and then Morgan Thacker, Walker River Paiute from Nevada. So I partner with those two, and we kind of help each other as far as they will go to the Elko County school districts and meet with the high school seniors, and then they'll bring them to me, and we kind of get them going through the process of entering college. So next. When students here are on campus, we do have the GBC Native American Student Association, the NASA Club, here on campus. April Blackhat, she's a Western Shoshone from Oahe. She's the president. Bonnie Griffith, vice president from the Ely Shoshone tribe. Secretary Jill Tomoke from the Western Shoshone tribe. And so our mission statement is to provide Native American cultural sharing and learning opportunities, increase awareness of social issues related to equality and understanding of a cultural diversity, promote leadership opportunities for Native American students, promote higher education with the Native community. Sometimes they'll travel with us, and they will encourage students to to higher education. We also serve the needs of Native American students here on campus as social outlet, friendship and support for everyone, and we provide cultural and social activities. We have done social powwows here. We also have the cowboy poetry, where we have Native American artisans come and showcase their crafts and stories. They do all kinds of social activities here while they're on campus, and we also try to have meetings every month to meet with the Native American students here. We'll provide lunch, and we just kind of hear and listen if they're going through any problems while they're in school, because life happens while you're in school, and so to have that support to help guide them to figure out what they need to do so that they can be successful in their academics. So how to apply to Great Basin College? Well, we have an open door policy, which means that anyone can come take classes here, whereas at a university, you must be accepted before taking classes. And so some helpful tips when filling out the admission application, because I see this a lot where students they won't input their name as it appears on their social security card, and then they fill out the FAFSA. And because we have to import our FAFSA into our database, if it doesn't match, then the students will encounter some delays. So just to avoid some delays, the main things that you'll do is input your name as it appears on your social security card, input your social security number. If you want federal aid, you don't have to, but for federal aid, you do have to. And then select a degree objective, because federal aid can only pay for classes that are applicable towards their degree. Next. So GBC has degree and certificate programs. As I said earlier, a lot of these courses and bachelor's degree you can get online without having to come on campus. So the business administration, we have the bachelor's in management and supervision, the associates of applied science and business administration, accounting, entrepreneurship, general business, business pattern of study. And then you can also get certificates in accounting, business administration, entrepreneurship, human resources, retail management, real estate licensure courses. And again, some more online degrees you can get. the BAS in digital information, BAS in land surveying, and the computer office technology programs, the graphic communications, computer programming, network specialist, office technology, and then the associate's degree in land surveying, Associates of Arts in Graphic Communication, Certificate in Graphic Communication, Medical Coding and Billing, which is the popular one that they can do online, and Office Technology, Employment Skills Preparation Programs. Next. Education. So we offer the bachelor's in elementary education, secondary education, post-baccalaureate in teacher preparation in elementary education and secondary. Very popular. Associates of Applied Science in early childhood, infant and toddler, early childhood education, and certificates as well, and if you want to get those as well in education. So these programs are pretty popular. Health sciences, we do have the CNA program, the emergency medical services, paramedics, EMT, the nursing and radiology, bachelor's of nursing, bachelor's of science in diagnostic medical sonography, and then we also have the certificate as well in sonography. So very popular programs. Human and social services, Associates of Applied Science in Human Services, the bachelor's in Human Services, and the bachelor's in Social Work, the 3+1 program. That one is an agreement between GBC and UNR. So students will do their first 3 years here at GBC and then their last year at UNR. So that is a popular program. Certificate of Achievement in Human Services and in Substance Abuse Counselor. So good program. So, and then Social Sciences, Criminal Justice, Law Enforcement, and Corrections. Next. Arts and Science degrees, Bachelor's of Science in Biological Sciences, English, Social Sciences, Natural Resources, Associates of Arts in English and Social Sciences. And the technology and the career and technical education courses, Jonica will speak about the diesel and those electrical programs, but you can also get it a BAS in digital information technology, BAS in instrumentation, land surveying, management and supervision, diesel, electrical, industrial millwright, manufacturing, machining, welding, diesel, electrical systems, industrial millwright, manufacturing, and welding certificate. So if you don't want to get an associate's degree, you can get a certificate in those fields. Next. And this is where Jonica will.
Perfect. Thanks, Mindy. So yeah, as Mindy mentioned, in our CTE program, we have 5 programs here in the Elko area. That would be, we have our welding program, our diesel program, industrial millwright, electrical, and then instrumentation. In Winnemucca, we also have our electrical program. In Ely, we have electrical and diesel. And in Pahrump, that's where we have our manufacturing program. So kind of to talk about our programs, welding is pretty obvious. Everybody knows what welding is. Diesel is working on any part of a diesel engine that might break down. Out at the mines, you might think of some of the shovels, some of the drills, loaders, backhoes. That's kind of everything you would be learning as far as brakes, air conditioning. You learn all of it in that program. Industrial millwright is one that some people kind of get a little confused on, because when you think of millwright, you really don't know what that job would entail. So that is process maintenance. So if you think of different factories, you are thinking of equipment that is bolted down to the ground. Millwrights are the ones who go in and they repair that equipment. With our millwright program, you get a national certification called NCCER. This is a card that students will get, and they can take it to any company that's looking to hire them, and they can look up their training off their number. With our electrical program, it's pretty obvious you're going to school to be an electrician. After the electrical program, you have the choice of going into the instrumentation program. So instrumentation is the automation of things. So if you think of driving a car, right in front of you is an instrument cluster. So on the front of your car, when you're driving, you see how fast you're going. You can read oil temperatures. You can read your fuel gauge. That's your instrumentation cluster. So if that's something that you want to take out into the mine and be able to read different levels and pressures, that's the instrumentation program. Mindy talked about the certificate and the associate degree. It's kind of a little confusing if you haven't been to college what the difference is between those two choices. The certificate and associate include all the same program requirements. So all the diesel programs, no matter if you're taking it for your associate or your certificate, you take the same diesel courses. The thing that is different is the amount of general education courses that you take. The certificate has a little bit less, the associate has a little bit more. With our CTE programs, they are accelerated, and by accelerated, that means you can get your associate degree in 9 months. So normally it takes 2 years. We condense that into 9 months. So you would start school in August and graduate in May. The way we do this is it is set up in a block schedule. So you're in 1 or 2 classes at a time. And then when those classes end, you start another 1 or 2 classes. On a typical year, we have our students meet 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 5 hours a day. So the 5 hours could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon, or it could be in the night, really up to your learning preferences. So the exciting thing that we offer is called our Maintenance Training Cooperative Scholarship and Internship Program. This application is due on April 1st. If you are selected for this scholarship, you get a $5,000 scholarship towards our programs. This covers about 55% of your attendance. That includes books and tools. So just right there, over half of your schooling is paid for. With the MTC scholarship, you are also given an internship while you're attending school. You usually work the summer before you come to school, and then 1 day a week while you're going to school. This pays about $25,000 while you're going to school. So with the scholarship and the internship, many of our students graduate with no debt. So how do you apply for the MTC scholarship? You go to our website, and then you go to the Student Services tab, and then you'll click MTC Scholarship. There are a few extra documents that you need to apply for the scholarship. The first one is a letter of interest essay. So this explains why you want to go into the program and also why you're interested in maybe working at the mine or a mining contract company. The next one is resume, followed by your transcripts. It can be official or unofficial. And then placement test scores. So this may be your ACT scores, your SAT scores, or you can do a free AccuPlacer here at GBC. There is an option if you have any projects that you would like to submit for the group to review, you can also attach those documents. So this is a great way for students who really want to get out into the workforce. It's a quick 9 months. It is a lot of dedication as you are taking double the amount of credits a normal student would take. But it's a great way. 96% of our students are working by the time they graduate in a full-time position, making about $70,000 their first year out of college. So thank you. I'll go ahead and hand it back over to Mindy.
Thank you, Jonica. So the degrees for transfer, when you're transferring to a university, we have the Associates of Arts, Associates of Science, Associates of Science and Biological Sciences, Engineering, Geosciences, and Natural Resource transfer degrees. Lastly, we have the General Studies, and this is for students that are undecided about what they want to do. So this is available to students as well. Okay, with all of these programs that we have, we recommend that all students meet with their faculty advisors at GBC. By filling out the admission application, you will be assigned an advisor. You can always give them a call or email them and figure out what courses to take, what you need to do. to get started in any one of these programs here. So next. Okay, the school funding resources, the main one is the free application for federal student aid. All students should fill this out to see if they qualify for, grants that you don't have to repay, and student loans, college work study, which is a work program through the Department of Ed. But the main school funding source is the FAFSA. Okay, so you're looking at all these degrees and wondering, how am I going to pay for my education? Well, starting with the FAFSA, by filling the FAFSA out, takes about less than 10 minutes to fill out to see if you qualify for a Pell Grant, which this year is $6,345. I mean, 10 minutes, $6,000, who knows? So fill out the FAFSA. When you fill out the FAFSA, you're applying for other state grants, which is Silver State Opportunity Grant, where students can receive up to $5,500. To get that grant, you have to be in 15 eligible credits and have taken 100 level math or English courses. So, registering for 15 classes, you can get, take as much classes as you can to get in and out of college quickly. In addition to that, we have the GBC Need Grant, where we can award up to $1,800. Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant up to $500. So, right there, you could qualify for quite a bit of money that'll help you, fund your education. In addition to that, there's scholarships. We have GBC scholarships. We have over 80 scholarships, and some donors give, 3 to 5 scholarships to students, and it ranges from $150 to $2,000. Millennium Scholarship is for tuition only, and those are for high school graduates. As Jonica talked about, the MTC scholarship up to $5,000 with an internship, and then the Promise Scholarship for high school graduating seniors of 2021. However, that deadline expired October 31st to apply. It opens up October 1st, and then it's open for a month, and then it closes on October 31st. So most students have applied, graduating seniors have applied for that. So just keep that in mind. And it is for Nevada high school graduating seniors. And then in addition to that, there's third-party sponsors, veterans educational benefits for students and dependents. We do have job opportunities in Nevada, Join, that can assist with tuition and books. Vocational rehab, which can help fund your education as well. For Native American scholarships, tribal scholarships up to $6,000 or more. Students must fill out the FAFSA so that I can fill out what's called the financial needs analysis form to let the tribe know, how much funding you will need to help fund your education. There's various tribal scholarships online, which I have a list that I give to students. So there's a lot out online. GBC has minority scholarships. And then for Western Shoshones here in Northern Nevada, they have scholarships from Nevada Gold Mines up to $6,000. And the Western Shoshone Trust Fund up to $2,000. Kinross Gold Mine, they assist with tuition only. And as Jonica talked about the MTC scholarship, if a Western Shoshone applies through the main MTC scholarships and they don't get one, and they're Western Shoshone, Nevada Gold Mines will give 5 scholarships to Western Shoshone students for $5,000 too. And then in addition to, there's third-party sponsors through the Intertribal Council of Nevada for the Native Workforce Development Program that can assist with paying for your tuition and books. not quite sure. I know of the Tribal Vocational Rehab in Oahe that also helps students with their tuition and books and living expenses as well. So there's a lot of funding out there, and it's important to apply early. With the FAFSA, it comes out October 1st of every year, and apply early so that you can be eligible for these other state grants, the Silver State, the GBC, SCOG grants. And one of the things that I've seen being here in the financial aid office, that students will wait until August to start applying for federal aid, and that's usually financial aid offices are swamped starting mid-July through August or through September. So you know, a lot of times I see students apply and then they don't have money to buy their books or their classes or housing, and so then they get discouraged and drop out. So it's always important to apply early, October 1st for the FAFSA, and you know, have an award letter about this time of year so that students can prepare and know what kind of funding they will have before they enroll in classes and be ready to go once classes start in August. So, and I believe that's the end.
Cool. Well, yeah, that's good to know that there's a ton of funding options available to students.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know too, so I'm not sure if I missed it, but can you describe a little bit the applying process to GBC? So do you just apply online or do you have to go to the school? How exactly do you apply?
You apply online by going to our www.gbcnv.edu, and you'll see on the web page it says apply online. So students can apply online. There is a $10 admission application fee, but students aren't charged that until they register for classes. So, and that's important because if you apply for FAFSA, when we import our FAFSA into our database, students have to have the admission application. Their name has to match, their social security number has to match before we can import that and get communication out to students. So that's the important process.
Very cool. I know that, you know, with you just being there on campus as a Native representative, I'm kind of wondering, what is the Native presence on the campus? And are there a lot of students on campus that are Native?
We have, I did a query, we have about 147 Native American students enrolled here at GBC for the spring term, and that's usually about the same amount every term. Some students, it ranges from 3 credits to up to 40 credits with the CTE programs, because they have to take a lot of credits. So, but yeah, and then due to COVID, most of our classes are online, but there still is, some students here on campus, Native American students. So, yep.
And that's cool that you have a club too, because I know we've talked with other small colleges too, and a lot of them are kind of struggling to build up their Native clubs. So that's really good to hear that GBC does have a Native club. So
yeah, and they do Zoom meetings right now due to COVID, but usually we try to meet once a month and have some activities here on campus for students.
And I think this could be a question for both Mindy or Jonica, but does the cost of attendance differ when you're enrolled in more of the technical classes versus the, say a bachelor's in science of one of the other degrees you have?
So as far as the cost with our technical programs, the only difference is they pay a little bit more of a lab fee, because for welding, for example, they have to have a welding material to be able to weld. The other thing is, because our program is so accelerated, they're taking about double the number of courses a normal traditional student would take. So it is a little bit more to attend per semester, but they're only attending 1 year rather than 2 years. So really it's the same cost. It's just more condensed. So.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So what is, most Native students are traveling to that location if they do attend. And I noticed you also had other campuses, I believe, in different areas. So what is the housing? Is there housing offered for students at GBC?
Yes, we do have housing. We're the only campus that does have housing for students. Yeah. And some students, because Battle Mountain is probably about an hour away, so some students will, especially with the career and technical ed, sometimes they'll travel, they'll stay at a motel like for 4 days and then go back home. And then Oahe, of course, is a couple of hours away. And so most of those students will live on campus while they're attending the career and technical ed programs.
And with our on-campus housing, we have a couple different options. So we have the traditional dorm room where you just have your bedroom. It does have a toilet and a sink, and then the showers are down the hall. They do have a community kitchen, game room, and equipment room or exercise room. We do offer apartment-style dorms, so either 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. Totally up to you what you prefer. We also do have married and family housing. So if you qualify for married or have a family, we do have housing here on campus that would work for you. And it is very affordable. The cost of living in Elko, if you were to rent, is very expensive. So I really suggest for students to look at on-campus housing. It saves them some money, and then they have that support network of other students going through the same things they're going through and can kind of build that network.
Yeah.
Cool. And is the housing competitive on campus? Like, do you have it usually filled up every time?
There's usually openings all the way right until August. So
Okay, cool.
Competitive, yeah.
Cool, that's good to hear. And then I guess a question for both of you too. So what is the biggest advice that you have for a Native student who is thinking about going to GBC? So we can start off with Mindy, then we'll go with Jonica.
One of the barriers that I've seen is being able to get their FAFSA and get their paperwork and having an award letter. It's usually this time of year is when you should have your award letter and being able to know what kind of funding you're going to get and kind of prepare for, how much, if you need to live on campus, books and supplies, your tuition, just getting your FAFSA done, getting in all your paperwork, and having an award letter this time of year is I always say to students, this is 99% of your success is just knowing what kind of funding you're going to get. That way you don't have to, stress about, paying for classes, and then you can just concentrate on, your academics. So.
So to kind of answer this question, when I first started this position, I had a Native American student that I will never forget. He told me that moving off the tribe and coming to college was very difficult. It's a different lifestyle and it takes some adjusting. And he really opened up and told me some of the things that he was going through. So really, if you need help or if you're having any issues, you really need to reach out. We have resources on campus, but if you kind of just suffer and don't ask for help, we can't really connect you with those resources. So really asking for help before it's too late. So if something's not going right or you're struggling with mental health or any of that, just ask for help. We have those resources available.
Yeah.
That's really important. Two really great advices. And I think, just with having a Native presence on campus, and if you're coming from Reno or Las Vegas or anywhere else in the state you're not familiar with Elko, those are really important pieces to think about, especially reaching out to other services that can help them succeed. I have one more little tiny question. Do you offer because a lot of this is going towards our high school students, how are you connected with the high schools in the area in offering courses to high school students? Either one of you?
Oh, Jonica, you could probably say that.
Okay.
The dual enrollment.
Yeah, so something that we work with our high schools in Nevada is to offer dual enrollment. So if you're in high school and you're thinking about getting started, it would be great to knock out some of those English, math, political science, some of those basic courses. No matter where you're going to have to take some of those classes, so you could get them at a reduced cost. For high school students, they pay 50% of the tuition a normal student would. So that's something really great to work towards, and they will count for your high school course as well as count for college courses. So just know if you decide to enroll in dual enrollment, you are a college student and you're expected to meet those standards. So it's a really great opportunity to get started, save some money and save some time so you're not in college forever.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah, you don't want to be in college as long as I was. And I have one quick question too. I was just thinking, so do all, you know how I know you mentioned that you had various campuses across Nevada. Do all those campuses offer the basic classes to get a degree, or do some differ?
Oh, I'll kind of answer that, something we didn't talk about. So we do have the different campuses across Nevada. We have what's called IAV, which is interactive video. So you might be taking a class in Battle Mountain or Winnemucca, and your instructor might be here in Elko. So you'll see them on the TV, something similar to this, but you would be in a classroom. So almost any campus that you go to, you could get your basics done. With our online presence as well, you can do those completely online if you chose to.
All right, there you hear it, everybody. You can go ahead and get your degree anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So get out there, do your FAFSA, like Mindy said, and speak up. Also, like Jonica said too, because I mean, the resources are there, so you just gotta ask questions and reach out to people. And you have two amazing people right here to reach out to. And if you have any questions, feel free to send us a comment or email or anything like that. Send us a message, and we'll reach out to Mindy or Jonica too if you have any questions. And
Yeah. I was just going to say, I look forward to meeting you guys in person.
Yes,
or going to your campus and seeing you.
Please do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's all for us tonight. We don't have any online questions right now. So I just want to first thank Jonica and Mindy for coming out. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, especially we know it's a Thursday night. Everyone needs to eat around this time. So yeah, thank you for taking the time out of your day to be with us tonight. And thanks for the presentation too.
Perfect. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Dina. Thank you for coming out too. I know it's getting late over here, but at least the sun's out. Like it wasn't before the time change. It wasn't. So I'm glad.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. If you're not watching this live, please play back. We thank you for playing it back and watching it over. So a lot of really great information on GBC, TMCC last week with the college tech schools. Great information, Avery. Thank you for setting this up for us to ask questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you too, Dina. And everybody have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. Don't forget to tune in, follow our social media, and check out our past videos too. We've done so many colleges and we've interviewed so many people. So just go through that list and I bet you can find something you're interested in. So like I said, everybody have a great Friday, have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Good night.